Are you wondering if this Milwaukee electric chainsaw can perform like a gas saw you are familiar with? My friend had this Milwaukee cordless chainsaw and I borrowed it to see how well a battery-powered saw does at cutting trees. I'm going to compare how this cuts and operates compared to my gas-powered saw. When I was told this electric chainsaw can cut a full-size tree like a gas saw could, I was skeptical this electric chainsaw could get the job done. But I was surprised at the power this saw has with being battery-powered. Now to be clear, this saw is not designed for cutting down a forest and making a pile of logs. That's what a gas saw is for. This saw is great for quickly getting to work without having to find a can of mixed gas and pull the cord multiple times to get it started. It can easily cut up a tree to clear the road and clean up trees around the yard. Without maxing out the 16-inch blade every time I cut, I can cut for several minutes on a charged 12 amp hour battery. Now let's get into the features of this electric chainsaw. It has a brushless motor, which will give you the power and torque needed to do some heavy-duty cutting. A brushless motor will also give you more runtime between charging batteries compared to a saw with a brush motor. The motor runs on the 18-volt fuel batteries like other Milwaukee cordless power tools use. However, most Milwaukee cordless tools use 5 amp hour and smaller batteries, so to get the full power out of this chainsaw, you will most likely need to purchase additional batteries, even though the saw will run on any of Milwaukee's 18-volt fuel batteries. Just like traditional gas-powered saws, the chain needs oil to stay lubricated. It has an oil reservoir and a sight gauge to know when they need to be filled. The oil can leak out over time, so you'll want to put a rag or a pan underneath the saw if it'll be sitting in one spot for a long period of time. The saw will come ready to use out of the box with a sharp chain. You'll just need oil and a charge battery to start cutting. And speaking of the chain, the saw has an Oregon brand bar and chain on it, which is the same heavy-duty parts used on gas-powered saws. This makes it easy to find replacement parts when you wear them out or hit a nail. Also, like any chainsaw, the chain will wear out over time as you use it, so you'll need a tool to sharpen the chain periodically to continue having smooth cuts. As you are using this saw, it has a safety button to push so you can pull the trigger, but the chain will not spin unless the safety kickback guard is pulled back. It took me a minute to realize this, since I can start my gas chainsaw with a kickback guard engaged, even though the chain is not spinning. The length of the bar is 16 inches like my gas-powered saw, and it can cut up to 16-inch trees if needed, but electric chainsaws like these are best at cutting smaller trees on a consistent basis so you can make more cuts on a charged battery. The design is like every other gas saw I've used with a handle at the back. When you grab this saw, it has a familiar feel you're used to. Now with a handle at the back and a long shape, this saw can get heavy when you use it for a long time since it weighs close to 20 pounds with a battery in it. And to adjust the chain, it has a tool and bolts like traditional chainsaws, and a nice feature is a tool can be stored right inside the handle so it's easy to use when you need it. Now that you know how this saw works, I'll go over how you can purchase it. This Milwaukee chainsaw is a 2727-20, which is a bare tool that comes with a blade guard, and you will use a battery you already own. You can also purchase this chainsaw as a kit, and comes with a chainsaw, blade guard, one 12 amp hour battery, and charger. You can find the links to this chainsaw and a kit it comes in the description below. And now that you know how this Milwaukee cordless 18-volt chainsaw compares to a gas chainsaw, you can feel confident you can get the job done when you get out there to tackle your next project.